last time?
Well, after Monstro ate the gummy ship, Sora met Pinocchio and was met with hostility from professional asshole Riku. Some shit happened and Sora left without giving Pinocchio or Geppetto a ride. The team went back to Travis Town after abandoning them, but somehow they also ended up in Travis Town.
How did they even get here? Did one of the few refugee ships that Sora didn't shoot down give them a lift? You know, this reminds me, I got an eviction notice the other day. I haven't paid rent for like 4 months.
Sora, not satisfied with fucking these guys over enough, decides to steal everything that wasn't nailed down, including a postcard that turned out to be a prescription for medicine.
Hey, what was that Keyblade you picked up earlier?
Let me check. Is this thing made out of wood?
What the fuck is this thing gonna do?
Is this game serious? I gotta try this out. We're going to the games.
Sora tries to prove his heroic nature by smashing barrels. However, breaking inanimate objects isn't the same thing as beating endangered animals to death, so Phil tells Sora he can't participate.
Lucky for Sora, a very nice looking stranger with fire for hair and the voice of someone who would sound like he would defend a rapist in court gives him a pass to join in. I don't know what Phil was worried about. These are just the guys you fought at the beginning of the game.
However, Square decides to piss all over Final Fantasy fandom by reducing one of the greatest heroes in Final Fantasy mythos to a joke who could be thwarted by a goddamn twig.
Yeah, I call BS on the highly trained super soldier getting beat down by a 14-year-old with a wooden pole. And then for an encore, he decides to take on the Gatekeeper for Hell. That's like killing Sephiroth with a nail in the board.
Well, actually, there is a weapon in Final Fantasy VII called a nail bat, which is a baseball bat with nails duct taped to it.
Square continues to emasculate Cloud by having Hercules step in and hold him over his shoulder while he's passed out. I know he's a demigod, but it's just shameful for a Disney character to save a fan-favorite Final Fantasy character like he's a defenseless child.
I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
Well, we do have one unexplored level right now. Let's see which one it is. So the characters have turned into fish people and the team meets Ariel. We are then introduced to the controls of the level.
What the fuck is this? It's like circle to go up and square to go down, but the camera doesn't move very well. What the fuck am I doing?
I don't think I've ever seen a game jump the shark for like 4 hours worth of game time. First thing to take note of, the fighting controls feel disjointed. You're always just out of reach of the enemies. The level design is lazy and mundane. It's also very disorienting. Several rooms look similar, and Square even had to resort to using arrows.
It's like the playtesters got lost trying to find their way around the level because all the blue rocks just sort of meld together. The designers literally put arrows pointing them to the right destination.
The music gets old fast. Under the Sea invokes feelings of numbness because of its repetitive looping sound. So, following the arrows leads to a flat backdrop of King Triton's palace. Now, check out the beginning of this cutscene. Sora and the others are running away from Heartless, but the normal background music is playing instead of changing it to something more dramatic. This scene does not imply danger in the slightest.
It's sort of shot on kind of a flat angle. It's almost comedic.
Did they really need to have this kind of chase if they weren't actually going to follow through with any sort of tone of danger? It's the light-hearted tone the rest of the level has. It's just poor imagination on Square's part. I think they're trying to make Triton look powerful.
Yeah, but they don't use any sort of cinematic technique to reinforce this concept.
And who are they?
We're from an ocean very far away.
Yup, we came to find the keyhole.
Jesus Christ, this guy was shout out, "I'm an undercover cop in a fucking drug raid."
Why hasn't Donald taped this guy's mouth shut yet? This is like the 5th time he's given away Sora's identity as the Keyblade Master. I thought they were supposed to conduct their work in secrecy to avoid meddling in other worlds.
You know, Sora should really be taking charge here.
He has no development of character. Even after all of his failures and betrayal of his childhood friend, there's no real arc of his character where he becomes more mature.
It's like he's too inept and stupid to grow as a human being. He just wanders around with a vacuous grin on his face. They play this scene off like meeting your female friend's dad, like that older gentleman who's looking at you like you want to try and get into his daughter's pants.
Rather than what it should be, where Sora tries diplomacy to try and save this world. He's just swimming away instead of trying to convince the obviously lying king to show him the keyhole.
Keep Ariel away from such danger.
Yeah, I'm sure Sebastian will really back Ariel up in a fight.
What was that?
I don't know.
Go check.
Alright. Yeah, there's a burglar.
A burglar? You mean like a robber?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just be right back. Hold it.
No, please. I've got a door.
Ariel decides to bring Sora to her treasure room, and being the kleptomaniac that he is, starts stuffing his pockets with anything useful.
So Sora, not looking for the keyhole, decides to start harassing endangered animals once again, and comes by a sunken ship.
This little scenario here where they try and scare you with the shark is kind of inconsistent with the previous cutscene, where they showed little to no effort. This little part has a fixed camera and a scripted sequence.
They're not putting the amount of presentation where it's due, like introducing a scene.
It also doesn't belong here. It's kind of like Resident Evil, where in Resident Evil it works because of the tank controls. You're moving in a single line. But this game has a three-dimensional control scheme. So when the camera switches in Resident Evil, you're still going forward. Here, however, when the camera changes out of nowhere, you're thrown off and you feel quite disoriented.
So Sora gets the thing, beats up another endangered animal, goes to put the thing in the thing, and Trident gets mad.
Disobeyed me again. I told you not to leave the palace.
Daddy, no!
The key bearer shatters peace and brings ruin.
Oh, Sora's not like that.
I thank you for saving my daughter, but there is no room in my ocean for you or your key.
Thank you for saving my daughter, but I'll be damned if you save my planet.
So Ariel is really sad and Rosie O'Donnell comes down to cheer her up, but she really tricks her into stealing the pitchfork. So Sora goes down and beats up Roseanne and finds the keyhole thing.
Despite being outfitted with top-of-the-line black market weapons, Sora sinks to a new low of incompetence when his Death Star gets taken out by the Black Pearl.
Wait. Neverland? I thought we were in like the space highway thing.
Maybe they need to stock up on pirate ship fuel?
Riku greets Sora and gives him more of his whiny crap about caring about Donald and Goofy.
Well, where are Donald and Goofy?
Are they that important to you? More important than old friends?
Jesus Christ, you spiteful slut, let the guy have other friends. We never really went into detail about why Riku is such a terrible character. There's no reason for him to be doing any of this. It's obvious that Riku is supposed to be sort of the tragic character, who in reality has good intentions, but his naivety causes him to make the wrong decisions. But this is where Square fails. Instead of being that sympathetic antagonist whom we can all relate to, and despite being wrong, understand and agree with his actions, he's just a senselessly evil asshole and never puts any real ethical thought into his behavior. Take for instance his attempt to kidnap Pinocchio. What fucking proof or logical reasoning does he have for hurting that innocent puppet? Did Maleficent tell him that it would help Kairi? Has Riku been doing research about the science of hearts? It really just feels like that scene was put in for a reason for Sora to have a disagreement with Riku and build the illusion of a well-developed animosity between them. But all it does is paint Riku out to be petty, selfish, and irredeemably evil rather than understandingly tragic.
You can go see your friends now.
One notable thing I've really begun to notice is the Heartless's appearance in each level. This level, for example, has the Heartless take the form of pirates. I would believe that the Heartless resemble what they were previous to becoming Heartless. Would this mean that Captain Hook sacrificed his crew to turn them into some kind of undead army? You can apply this concept to the monkeys in the deep jungle, or the aquatic Heartless in Atlantica, or even the stitched-up mummified Heartless in Halloween Town. It really adds a dark undertone when you start considering this. So, we meet Peter Pan and he tries to teach us how to fly.
You're a duck. Ducks can fly.
We then see Riku teleport with Kairi.
Why didn't he just do this before? Oh, it makes him tired. It doesn't really go into specifics about how his powers work, though.
Did you notice that the opening of this scene kind of looked like Riku was, you know... So some stuff happens, and more stuff happens, and then stuff stops happening.
Everyone tries to approach what they assume is a depressed Sora.
Well, Kairi couldn't wake up, so maybe she's really lost her...
I really flew. Wait till I tell Kairi.
This proves it! He doesn't pay attention to anything.
Despite seeing firsthand a zombie like Kairi and his friend saying that she could have possibly lost her heart, the scene still plays out like Sora didn't really pay attention at all.
Now, you could argue that Sora was trying to appear optimistic, but it really doesn't play off like that. It really sounds like he didn't know what was going on until later when he looks depressed. Maybe he came to the realization like 6 hours later, like his brain had a delayed reaction or something. And now we're in London?
What? London? Like Britain, London?
Yeah.
But the characters in Deep Jungle came from England. Does this mean they came from this world?
How would they even do that? Did they have spaceships in that time period?
Well, Captain Hook used a pirate ship, and that whale was able to survive out here in space.
Hey, if Captain Hook could fly his wooden ship into space, does that mean Sora's raft would have worked? How did they get up there? Did they just hoist sails into the sky? Earlier when Donald and Goofy see a world go out, they were looking into the sky, which means worlds are planets in space, not dimensions. So if these characters are from England, and we're in London, England, did these characters come from here, or from two different identical Englands? Hey, Peter's gonna give us a new weapon. The fairy harp.
Ooh, the fairy harp. Truly a weapon to be reckoned with.
Now, just remember what Donald said to you.
Sora, don't be such a downer.
The king told us to go out and find the key bearer, and we found you.
Does it sound like Goofy is being condescending? Like they were trying to find the Keyblade Master, but all they ended up with was finding Sora?
Sora then begins having a drug trip and imagines a really boring, childish story that's supposed to be some kind of theology of the universe.
She bobs her head around. Imagine how distracting that would be in a real conversation.
Huh?
Dude, you were standing there for like an hour.
Come on, let's go to the Coliseum. We gotta get the metal chocobo.
Time for a half an hour of underleveled monster killing.